What is up, guys? Welcome back to my Demon Souls 100% guide. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We have another episode here for you. So we are here in the Nexus, and we are going to actually head back to the Boletaria and Palace Archstone here to the gates of Boletaria. We have pure white world tendency in this particular world now. Since we have killed enough bosses, you'll see that that icon at the gates of Boletaria is now much brighter than it used to be. And here, if we go check out our world tendency icons, you'll see that that icon under that first archstone is bright white, which means you have pure world tendency here, pure white world tendency, I should say. So I'll show you a couple things that have to do with that. Take care of these enemies real quick, which we dispose of with one hit. Now that we are much stronger than we used to be. So I mentioned in like the first episode that this gate only opens in either pure white or pure black world tendency. I'm actually not going to go down there yet because when you get to the end of this path, you actually fight a hostile NPC. And when you kill that hostile NPC, it actually takes you a few steps back from pure white world tendency, which we've worked so hard to get. So we're actually going to do that a bit later in the game because I want to go through the 1-3 Archstone in pure white world tendency. So after we beat that Archstone is when we'll come back through there and then take care of that white world tendency event. What we're doing now is we're going to go up to the Dragon's Nest because I mentioned that when you get pure white world tendency, the dragons that were once there are going to be gone. And so we actually did kill the red dragon in the previous episode, but if you remember, there was the red dragon was there in that nest, and then there was also a blue dragon who was there. And the blue dragon, while he was facing away from us and isn't as much of a direct threat as the red dragon who was breathing fire at us, the blue dragon still does pose a bit of a threat because some of those items that we would want to pick up are within range of like his tail, and he's like swiping his tail on the ground. And that tail swipe, if it hits you, which it pretty much will if you do run in to get some of those items, it's going to kill you in basically one hit. So going back with the dragons gone, both the red dragon and the blue dragon, is important if you want to get all those items, which you do. So that's all I'm doing right now is I'm making my way back up to that nest. And one thing I do want to point out while we're on our way and just kind of mindlessly making our way through these scrubby mobs here that really don't do anything to us anymore because we're stronger than they are now, is I've actually recorded this episode before. This is my second take, and the reason for that is because my wife is a freelance photographer, and so she has a iMac, which is actually what I use to record everything, which is far less than ideal, but it's what I have, and so we kind of share. And we just updated the OS on that to the latest OS, which consequently causes my game capture software to crash just randomly. And I've been able to work with it for the last couple recordings without it crashing. But unfortunately, this last time, I got through the whole episode. I was literally about to click the button to stop recording, and it crashed, and I lost everything. So I have to do this whole thing over again using some different software. But fortunately, I can make it work. But man, that was frustrating. But thank God for I have PS Plus, so I have backup saves that I can rely upon. And so thank God for those backup saves, because if I did not have that, then like literally I'd be screwed. So just keep in mind that at least in my just brief tests real quick of using this new software, it appears to be slightly less stable than what I've been using before, and I'm not sure if that's due to some sort of setting or if that's something that I can work with or not. But hopefully it's good enough. It does seem like a little bit like it stutters a little bit more, unfortunately, but hopefully we'll be able to make it work. I don't know. I'm just trying to do what I can because I know that I don't want to leave you guys hanging with not being able to record new episodes until I figure out what the heck's going on with my other software. I actually submitted a I guess, claim with them saying, hey, it's crashing on the new OS, and if there's, you know, any planned updates for it to hopefully remedy that situation. But we'll see. But anyway, we just picked up a new shield and a bunch of soul items here. And you'll notice that both dragons are gone. Both the red dragon, which we killed, and the blue dragon, which we did not kill, are both gone. We got the Ring of Flame Resistance and the Ring of Great Strength. So we got a pretty decent haul out of here. Let's check out that new shield. It is the Purple Flame Shield. And you'll see that it blocks pretty much, it blocks 90% of fire damage. So that is huge. I mean, it definitely has some practical applications in that. The one thing is that it requires 22 strength to use, which we do not have. So yeah, that is actually, you know, it has some practical applications to it, just how strong it is against fire attacks. But, you know, it's not, we can't really use it right now, and there's not really an immediate application for us. So I'm going to go ahead and send that to storage so it does not overburden us. We also got a couple rings. So let's look at those real quick. We got the Ring of Great Strength, which increases our equipment weight limit. And then we also got the Ring of Flame Resistance, which increases resistance to flame, as you could imagine. So fire attacks, we got the new shield and this ring, which increases our resistance to fire. And this Ring of Great Strength can be an interesting thing to use. Some of you who might want to be equipping kind of heavier, tankier armor, that's, you know, that would make it to where we'd be too overburdened to be able to move quickly like we are now, roll quickly and all that. That actually increases your, if you equip that ring, it increases your equipment burden. So, you know, right now we have 44 maximum equip burden. If you equip that ring, that would increase, you know, your maximum to a higher level, which would mean that you could technically throw on more weight and still maintain that proper ratio of about 50% to where you would be able to roll quickly, and you know, you'd be able to equip some much heavier armor as well, or heavier weapons, or whatever it is that you'd want to do. So now that we got all that, we just have to go back to the beginning of the Archstone. So kind of what I was saying before, I'm doing the best with what I've got right now, and we'll see how it goes. But I would rather do this and kind of, you know, maybe have a little bit of trial and error involved with it than, you know, risk the other app crashing again, or just have to put everything on hold until I find a fix, which I'm not all that confident that there's going to be a fix anytime soon. So I think it's best that I just kind of roll with the punches here and try to go with plan B. So let me know if this is, what do you think about this episode, if the quality is okay, or whatever the case may be. Just kind of trying to make it work here. So anyway, at least I have confidence that this one's not going to crash on me, and I'm not going to lose my entire recording. So that's important too. So anyway, so that was what we wanted to take care of in this level real quick. Just wanted to get all those items since we have the Pure White World tendency. So all I'm going to do, actually, I think this Archstone is going to be quicker to warp out of. I actually had a friend tell me today, he's like, dude, you have been butchering the pronunciation of, dang it, I'm still going to freaking mispronounce it. I think it's pronounced phalanx, not phalanx, or whatever it is that I've been saying this whole time. And, you know, those of you who are watching who might be like military strategist or something are probably cringing every time you hear me say that word, and I apologize for my mispronunciations. But you know, you learn something new every day, I guess. I'm glad I know now. So that was what we wanted to do there. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to head back to 4-1, and we're actually going to beat the whole level now. So before we went through kind of half of it, maybe just to get a couple things, and then we got out of Dodge pretty quick. So we're actually going to do this whole level now. We're going to go to the very end, and we're going to kill the boss. So it's going to be lots of fun. We are stronger now, so you know, these enemies are not going to be able to hurt us as much as they've been hurting us in the past, and we're going to be doing quite a bit more damage to them than we had been doing in the past. So this is going to go by much more smoothly, and we are well equipped for the rest of the level and for the boss, I think. Because before, if we had tried to fight the boss before, he pretty much would have been able to one-shot us, and you know, I just didn't really want to go through all of that at that point in the game when, you know, we'd still be quite a bit more vulnerable than we are now. So I think we're at a good enough level right now to where we can fight that boss without much trouble. And, you know, it shouldn't be too big of a deal. Okay, so actually getting some backstabs this time. I sometimes struggle with getting backstabs on these skeletons, but fortunately, I'm doing good enough of a job right now. Okay. So thing is, you know, sometimes when I run through a level that I've been through before, I'll just run past all the enemies. But these guys are so fast that they'll catch up to you and kill you. So you basically have to take them out. You can't just run past them and, you know, ignore them, because they will catch up to you and they will make your life miserable. All right. And now for this last one. Have him come down. Alrighty. I'm going to take care of these archers up here too, because we're going to fight. If you remember, there's a Vanguard on the other side of this gate, and we're going to fight that Vanguard this time. We're not going to... Whoops, he actually did hit me. I thought the arrow was going to miss, but oh well. Shame on me. We're actually going to fight him this time, so... oh, wow. I guess those have like a homing capability to them. That's not fun. All right, cool. Okie dokie. I'm going to top off my health. And so you notice these storm beasts that are flying around here? They actually will interrupt us during this fight. So I'm going to go up to the top. Remember to keep your shield up for that. So we're going to go ahead and take care of some of those as much as we can, at least, because we don't want to have to be dealing with them and be dealing with the Vanguard, because that will be quite annoying and could possibly lead to death. So best to try to take care of as many of these as possible while we can. Let's see here. Let me see. And I just realized something. There's that item over there, because there was one spot we didn't explore that I'm going to do now, and when we were here before. And it turns out that I remember we killed that crystal lizard over there, but then we never went and got the crystal lizard stuff. Oh well. Hopefully you didn't make that same mistake, but I'm actually going to throw on my talisman, or my catalyst rather, so I can use soul arrows on these guys, because soul arrows tend to work a bit better, especially when they're up close like that one just was. He's gonna loop back around, and he's definitely one that's gonna cause problems for us if we leave him alone. So let's wait till he comes back around, and we should be able to get him with our soul arrows. Where is he? Because these guys, they basically just make big circles, big loops. So here he is. See if I can get him. Nope, he was just too far away. Should be able to get him when he's over here, though. There we go. All right, that takes care of one of them. So soul arrows actually work very well on these guys. As long as you're close enough to lock onto them, the soul arrows actually do work very well. And sometimes when they're just far enough out of range, you do kind of have to use your bow and arrow. And it is a bit tricky to use your bow and arrow, because you have to lead them enough, because they fly somewhat fast. And so you have to shoot like a kind of ahead of where they're going, and it gets tricky to aim for them manually. So, but with this guy, whoops, oh, I meant to equip my regular bow back for him. Because we're going to go get that item. There's no crystal lizard there, unfortunately, but, you know, because we did forget to get that crystal lizard drop, but we'll be okay. So if you remember in here, there's another skeleton. There we go. So I use my heavy attacks, and that kind of stun locks them, because our heavy attacks are enough to take care of them. And then there's that second one right here. Oh, that one. That attack I'm not a fan of. There we go. All right, so where we need to go for that item, and if we had remembered to pick up the crystal lizard drop, is up here. 1, 2, up. He backed up enough. And 3. Okay. Is over here. And we got some Awe Guide of Guidance, which I never use those. So this, those of you who have played Dark Souls might be familiar with this character.
Give sparkly me, give twinkly me, you. Trade, give me sparkly, twinkly.
So you can actually trade items with this bird, and like you can trade like pretty if you trade fairly, you know, high quality items, kind of somewhat rare or expensive, you can get some rare items in return. I never really use this system in this game because pretty much everything I get just by normal means. But there are some certain things that, you know, might be easier to get by trading as opposed to just getting normally. But you know, it's something that exists in this game, but something that I don't really use. But anyway, that item that we wanted / where the crystal lizard loot would have been is right down here. Stone of Ephemeral Eyes. Okay, perfect. So now that we've taken care of all of that, let us drop down here. And we're not going to fight the Vanguard right away. Reason being, we want to take out some more of those storm beasts while we have the chance. So I'm going to go ahead and throw my catalyst back on. And I'm going to heal up. I'm generally pretty good about avoiding his swipe, but just in case, can't be too careful, right? So we just got the Adjudicator. The Adjudicator is a pretty cool weapon. It's a katana type weapon, and you know, especially once you start upgrading it, it does some pretty good damage. It also, you know, attacks pretty fast and is pretty light as well. So it's actually a really good weapon, especially when you start upgrading it. I don't think I'm really going to use it in this playthrough, but you know, it's hard to go wrong with the Adjudicator. All right, come on, come at me. That guy seriously noticed me with his bow before. Oh, see, the storm beasts are already starting to get annoying. All right, gonna hit you with this. See, ugh. Okay, enough of you. Oh, he was just out of range. Dang it. So now he's gonna come towards me. Is he gonna be in range now? All right, come on. There we go. This guy is an archer. Pretty easy. And then this is the way forward. So we're not going to go this way yet because we still have some unfinished business, especially the Vanguard. So what we're going to do first is climb this ladder. There's some loot up here, and also it gives you a pretty good vantage point for killing some of the storm beasts, so they're not going to annoy us during the Vanguard fight. And then also, the way forward is down here along that path, and some of the storm beasts will circle along that path and then be a nuisance to us when we're trying to advance in the level. So that is not what we want. Actually, before we do this, I climbed up the ladder too soon. There's actually a black double katana wielding skeleton guy who is actually guarding something. So we're going to fight him first. Come on. So again, when he does that lunge attack, if that hits you, I mean, it will nearly kill you in one hit. But when he does it, he almost always overshoots and leaves himself open for a backstab. So I actually try to bait that attack because it is so easy to dodge and punish. So hopefully he'll do it again. But when he does it, if it hits you, even with your shield up, it will completely break your guard. And, it'll completely break your guard, and it'll do a significant amount of damage to you as well. So you just want to make sure that when he does it, that you're moving forward fast enough to where he'll overshoot you. Okay, so what he's guarding is the Adjudicator's shield. So let's check that out. All right, the Adjudicator shield is a large wooded shield depicting the scene of the dead facing judgment, painted with bright pastoral colors. An epigram written in an ancient script is carved into the back. The hero of storms shall never act in cowardice, nor shall he devour a single bird of the sky. If the dead fail to please the Adjudicator's master, the harvest gold crow, their carcasses shall be gnawed upon until nothing but bones remain. So the main feature of this shield is that it gradually restores HP when it's equipped. So you can have it equipped, and much like our Crescent Falchion gradually restores our MP, the Adjudicator shield gradually restores your HP. Thing about it is that it's a much larger shield. It is a little bit heavier, and it only has the 90% physical damage reduction. It doesn't have 100%. I do much prefer to use a shield that has 100% damage reduction, just because, you know, that extra 10% can definitely add up over time, especially if you're up against very heavy hitting enemies. So I'm not going to use the Adjudicator shield, but there are some special places where it does have kind of a good application. I think there is one place later on in the game where I actually am going to use the Adjudicator shield, just because that HP regeneration is such a benefit in that area, and you'll see it's probably going to be one of the last places we go. But there's definitely a good use for the Adjudicator shield there. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and send it to storage. But it is pretty cool, and some of you guys really might want that HP regen effect, and there's a lot of people who actually do end up using the Adjudicator shield quite a bit. So definitely a good option if that's what you want to do. So let's go up here. There's going to be some more items, and then a couple more storm beasts that we'll be able to shoot down. So some half moon grass. Unknown hero soul. So right here is going to give us a pretty decent vantage point to hopefully kill a couple more of these storm beasts. There's another one. That one's probably too far to get with our... Let's see if I can't even lock onto him yet. I'm trying to lock onto him, but can't quite. There we go. Get him. Get him. Nope. This one I should be able to, though. Oh, why doesn't it lock? There we go. Come on. There we go. I think this other one we're going to have to get with just a regular bow. So I'm going to throw the bow on. And I'm going to have to, you have to lead it pretty... Ugh, there we go. Not to shoot him again. Come on. There we go. Sweet. Sometimes that actually takes me way longer to do, because sometimes I really struggle with aiming the bow at them. But fortunately, didn't take too long that time. So you notice there's some stuff down there. We can't actually access that right now. We have to loop around the entire rest of the level before we can get down there. Like you see that big gold dude wielding that huge sword down there. That's the way we have to go to get over there. And we'll be doing that in just a bit. First of all, now that we've got all the loot up here, we've killed some of those storm beasts. So we're in good shape. I think what we're going to do now is kill the Vanguard. So we have our Crescent Falchion, which of course causes bleed damage. The Vanguard is susceptible to bleed damage, so that is to our advantage. So I'm just going to kind of sneak up behind him. I'm gonna fight him while two-handing my weapon, just because I don't really use my shield against him. I'm going to top off my health. If we get into a bind, we can actually roll down that hole, and he's not going to follow us down there, and we can top off our health and heal up if we need to. So gonna get the first attack. Gotta love that butt jiggle that they added to the Vanguard. I'm sure whoever was responsible for that animation had a good time. So he's actually doing his butt stomp move, which is actually what I want, because that's much easier to deal with. And if you can kind of lure him into doing it over and over and over again, it makes this fight a lot easier than constantly dodging like his massive axe attacks. So I'm actually a fan of him doing this right now. Yeah, nice. Keep doing it. Please keep doing it. I don't think he's even attacked me with his axe yet. I've got like half his health down. Wow. There's his attack. So he still hits like a truck, but of course he doesn't, now that we're leveled up quite a bit, he doesn't do nearly as much damage as he does in the tutorial. So, and I'm pretty sure he's got the same amount of HP or close to. Maybe a bit more. Nice. He was actually pretty good to me then. Didn't really have to do much of dodging his big axe attacks. He basically just kept doing his butt stomp over and over again, which made it easy for me. So he drops the Gray Demon Soul, which is the same thing that he drops in the tutorial. So if you also killed him in the tutorial and haven't used the Gray Demon Soul yet, then now you have 2 of them. Okay, so let us carry forward. Now that we've done what we need to do, actually I want to check around this corner because there is an item down here that I want to get. Some Cloudstone Shard. And you'll see that there's this item up here that is just out of reach. Oh, I can actually get it. Sometimes it is out of reach. Or they have been known to be out of reach. So this is what was dropped by the Storm Beast. One of the Storm Beasts that we killed is a Cloudstone Shard. So sometimes they'll drop it and it'll be out of reach. You'll see like an item that you can't get to. And it's just because like technically when you killed the Storm Beast, it was out of bounds, like where we're actually able to go. And so it will fall there and it will drop its item there, but we're not going to be able to get there. Sometimes like they'll fall all the way down to like here, like these cliffs on the bottom. And it'll be like, you'll look down, you'll be like, oh, there's an item there. And you'll like drop down to try to get it, but you'll actually die because really all it is it's that you killed the Storm Beast and it dropped down out of bounds. And unfortunately, when it dropped down out of bounds, it also dropped its item out of bounds. So just know that sometimes that can work to your disadvantage if it does drop the item out of your reach. And just know that is not it's not a glitch, but sometimes it's just how the game works. So the way forward is over here. So be cautious. There's one of the traps that fires arrows at you, and there's the switch. So hit this. Oh, did we already hit the switch? No, we did not. So hug the wall, put your shield up, let the arrows go by before you proceed. And then you should be in good shape. So, all right, we're now on the other side of that gap. So we picked up the item over there. Now we're on the other side of it here. There's an item around the corner right here. We get some a soul item here. So you can drop down these little ledges. Just know that this is not necessarily a one-way street. If you need to get back up for whatever reason, you can still get back up over here. So that is available to you. But what we're going to do now is carry forward on these ledges. And I'm about to run out of durability on my Crescent Falchion. So see that red bar? There's one next to my shield as well, but then there's also one next to the Crescent Falchion, which is much further depleted. That represents our weapon durability. So when that gets to like 30% or 25%, our weapon is considered broken, and it's going to do way less damage. So I'm going to have to use one of those, whatever those items called. I don't want to use it just yet because I still have a little bit of life left in the weapon, but we have the Ed's Sharpening Stone. That's an item that we can use, a consumable that will restore our durability. So be careful along these cliffs. I'm actually going to equip my Catalyst and throw my soul arrows on because we're going to run into these like gold skeleton enemies. And of course, we're on like this ledge. We're not going to want to do hand-to-hand combat on this ledge because we will fall off. So there he is right there. We have the Thief's Ring equipped, so he can't really see us. I'm going to get a couple of cheap shots on him. Oh, and he landed his attack. So I'm gonna run away and have him chase us. Oh, he's not even chasing us. The Thief Ring really does come into handy. But his attacks do hit pretty hard, and he does have, those swords are so big that he does have quite a bit of range to worry about. So I'm just gonna kind of do this to him and cheese him a little bit, but I don't feel bad about it. But we're at a point now where we're strong enough to where we can take some of those hits and not die. If we had tried doing this earlier, when we came here earlier, those attacks would have probably been lethal. So now we have another one. I'm going to kind of do the same tactic. I'm going to cheese him from afar with my soul arrows. And then eventually he's going to like, see how he's blocking with that shield, with that sword now. So now I'm going to let him attack me, roll through it, and get a backstab. So When he starts charging at you, that's basically a sign that he's going to swing his sword at you. And so his attacks are pretty slow. So when he swings his sword at you, that's kind of your cue to do what I just did, to roll through his attack, get behind him and do a backstab. And then we got one more over here. So same tactics. And then we want to, if possible, to lure him over here. And we're going to fight him in the same spot where we fought that other one. If I can lock onto him. There we go. So now you can see why I like the soul arrows. They have a pretty solid application and are pretty powerful as well. Come on. Oh, he's turning around. Big mistake. Up, I'm out of MP. So, roll through. Backstab. Alrighty. Not too shabby. So, through here, fortunately there are not any enemies, but there is a lot of loot. So the way forward is actually going to be through here. And note, right in front of us is one of these trap buttons, and the arrows are going to fire from directly... Is it behind us or in front of us? Yes, it's from in front of us. So I'm going to go ahead and trigger this trap and run away. Let the trap do its thing so I don't have to worry about it later. And then you'll see down here, there's another dual-wielding black skeleton guy, and that is the boss fog gate. So that will trigger the boss fight when we walk through there. But first, we have to go through, and there's lots of goodies for us around here. So let's go ahead and get everything. If you go through here, you'll notice a crystal lizard on the other side. So I'm going to switch to my bow and see if I can get him before he runs away. It's going to be a little bit tricky, but hopefully we can manage. Oh, wow, that my arrow didn't stun him. That's not cool. All right, lock on. See if I can get the overhead slams on him. There we go. Moonshade Stone Shards. Okay, good stuff. So for me, crystal lizards are about a 50-50, maybe 60-40 proposition. I don't always, so many of them get away from me and it can be kind of frustrating, but I don't, I try not to sweat it. It's not a huge deal if they get away, but oftentimes they do. So over here we have a item here, and it is the Regenerator's Ring. Let's check that out. So the Regenerator Ring slowly restores HP over time. So it has that same effect, actually, as the Adjudicator Shield does. Actually, the best thing about this is that the effect stacks. So if you have the Adjudicator Shield on and the Regenerator's Ring on, you're going to recover HP at an even faster rate. I actually didn't mean to equip that. I want to keep the Thief Ring on. But you will recover your HP at a much faster rate, which is very helpful. And you'll see here, like this is actually the beginning of the level. That's the gate where we walked through right before we fought the Vanguard. So this whole thing is kind of wrapped around on itself. And so let's go back over here, which is where we need to be. Make sure you don't fall off the cliff. And there's actually some more loot around here that we want to get. So we can go up these stairs. And we get some late moon grass. And over here. This is a little bit tricky, but you can actually drop down onto this beam. And we get the Grave Robber's Ring. So it's another ring. Let's check out the Grave Robber's Ring. So an ancient topaz ring that subdues your essence, discouraging detection by black phantoms. So black phantoms, I don't think we've really, I don't think we've encountered one yet. But black phantoms are like these kind of glowing, ghostly looking enemies that are generally black phantoms. I mean, there's some of them that are like NPCs that'll be hostile and will attack you, but there are other black phantoms that are basically just replications of regular enemies that, but the Black Phantom version is going to be way, way, way stronger than just the normal enemy that you would be accustomed to fighting. So the Grave Robber's Ring is kind of like a thief's ring that makes you even more, I guess, even less likely to be detected by a Black Phantom type enemy. So let's go ahead and get this guy. Shield up. He'll probably do his lunge attack, run straight through it. Oh, I missed the backstab, unfortunately, but see if I can get behind him. Whoop, he got backed up to the wall, so. All right, do your lunge attack. There you go. See if we can get the backstab that time. There we go. Two-hand my weapon, get a big overhead slice in, and then, oh, geez. So yeah, that basically broke my entire guard. Unfortunately, I did not see that one coming, and I did not get out of the way quickly enough. All right, come on, do it, do it. No? Not going to cooperate with me? There it is. All right, maybe hopefully I can get the kill right here. Probably not, no. Especially if I miss. But even if I did hit him, I don't think I would have been able to. All right, there we go. This will get him. Okay, soul remains. And up here, we have Half Moon Grass. Okay. That's all there is over here. So this is the boss, Fog Gate. So this is a bit of a unique boss fight. We can't do direct damage to him. He actually has a designated weak point. And so I'll walk you through how to actually do damage to him. This is one of these boss fights where there's actually there's a trophy associated with it for killing him in a specific way. So the way that you get the trophy is you basically have to attack his weak point with range, which his weak point is his head. So if you want the trophy, you're going to have to use like soul arrows or something else to directly attack his head, because the normal way that you kill him is like there's a separate spot where you can hit him and he'll like bend over and expose his head that you can hit his head directly. And so the trophy is for basically killing him without getting him to bend over. So anyway, it is quite a unique fight, but anyway, I think the best way to go through it is just to go on and trigger the fight. But first things first is you're going to start up at the top of this area. And in order to engage him, you actually have to drop all the way down. So you can't stay up at the top, because if you do stay up at the top, he's going to be able to reach you. He does have a ranged attack that'll reach you with. So I recommend dropping down pretty much as soon as you walk in. So there is the Adjudicator. You see he has a massive tongue, and that tongue is what he'll use to troll you with from afar. And I forgot, dang it, I forgot to repair my weapon. So I'm going to have to, it's going to break during this fight. I can guarantee you it's going to break during this fight. So you'll see his main attack when you're like right up close to him is with his right hand. And he telegraphs his attacks even more than the Vanguard does. And so it is very easy to dodge that attack. As soon as he moves his arm back, all you got to do is run around him and you're going to dodge the attack. So the way that you kill him is you see how he has like this stab wound? That is his like secondary weak point, I guess. You're seeing that we're not doing any damage to him still. Like if you just attack him like normally, like you do nothing. But if you hit, oops, I got to get out of the way of his swing here. If you attack this like stab wound, it doesn't do damage, but it weakens him to the point to where he eventually will duck his head down. And so you just keep attacking that weak point, and then eventually he'll succumb. And every time, he attacks, just kind of run through it. I'm not even rolling. You don't even need to roll, really. Any day now. Come on. There we go. So my weapon is damaged so I'm doing like, you'll see I'm doing like no damage with it. So I'm actually going to use a edge sharpening stone. Oh, and he hit me with his tongue. Dang it. Okay, but we're alive. Top off my health. I even mentioned it. I told you I knew it was gonna freaking break, and I forgot to use the thing before the boss fight. I just should have known better. Oh well, that's what I get. But we're in good shape now. So anyway, so same thing. Attack this little stab wound, and then wait for him to dip his head down. Come on. Any day now. Oh, the stairs are blocking his thing. Come on. Nope, not gonna bend over yet. Come on. There we go. So the bird is his weak spot. So once he bends over, that's what you want to hit is this bird. And again, if you want that trophy, you're gonna have to hit that bird directly with the ranged attacks. Oh, hello. Hopefully I'll be able to get him in 2 more cycles, but we'll see. There we go. Get another hit. Yeah, 1 more cycle should do it. Okay, where am I? Camera bad. There we go. All right, back on the stab wound. So fortunately, you see how easy it is to dodge his primary attack. The windup is just so huge that gives you plenty of time to react. There we go. All right, this should do it. Hopefully, 1 more hit. All right. We got the Adjudicator. Sweet. And as I said, normally you would get a trophy there, but since this is actually my second time to do this, since I had to, this is my second go through since I lost the previous recording, I already have the trophy. So, all right, we get the Swollen Demon Soul, which is the Adjudicator's soul item. Let's warp back to the Nexus as per usual, and we can use our, we can level up and whatnot, use our souls to level up. Okay, it's back in the Nexus. Let's see, I will take my vitality up some. We'll do endurance and let's do a couple strengths. We almost have enough for 1 more level, so I will do this. We need 59 for another level. So we can easily get to that. I guess maybe a renowned hero. Perfect.
Soul of the mind.
And so this will be enough to allow us to use the claymore.
Soul of the lost withdrawn from its vessel. Art thou finished?
And let's pay the blacksmith a visit here.
Simple. In trade with your souls.
See if we can upgrade our claymore. No, we don't have enough. We don't have enough hardstone shards or souls, so we'll have to do that later. And I'm going to go ahead and dump the Adjudicator. I could have done this just in the main menu, but I'll give Stockpile Thomas some love. And then also we have a bunch of ores that we can dump. So I'll dump the broken sword and the Adjudicator. All right, we're in good shape. We are in good shape. So what I'm going to do now is suicide. So I go back to soul form. Keep our world tendency intact. Okay. And then to retrieve our souls, which I think I only had, what, like 400? So, oh well, I mean, might as well be frugal. Not gonna hurt anything. Alrighty. And so what we're going to do is we're actually going to return to 4-2, the ritual path. We're not going to do the whole level. In fact, we're not even going to go past like the very beginning of it. But there's some important stuff that I wanted to go on and take care of now, as opposed to later. And some really things that I think some things that you might find useful as well. So first things first, there's a lot of storm beasts flying around here, so just be mindful of that. And there are... Oh, I did not mean to do that. I pressed the wrong button. I accidentally pressed circle and then I backstepped and instead of pressing X to pick up the item. Oh well. Get my blood stain. And let's try pressing the right button this time. There we go. Got a storied warrior soul. And yeah, just be cautious to not fall off the edge like I just did. Stone of Ephemeral Eyes. And in here. So, now that we're in 4-2, our friend, the Grave Robber Blige, has relocated to here.
Hello there, we meet again. You look terrible. Cheer up. Life is an adventure.
All right. So our arrow guy is back. And of course, as always, he has arrows for sale for 10 souls a pop. So I'm actually going to restock. I can't get very many because, yeah, I can get 47, but might as well. And so I'm going to be getting my arrows from him again because previously I was getting him in the Nexus just for the sake of time, but since he is so close to the beginning of 4-2, it's really just going to take a couple seconds to warp here and get him from him for half price. So once you step on this switch, this door in front of us is going to open and we're going to see a cutscene. Have your bow ready because there's going to be something that we're going to want to do right away with our bow once this door opens, and you'll see why. So take note of that Grim Reaper. Okay, so you want to pull your bow out and you want to take him out immediately. Just fire arrows as quickly as you can until he's gone. He's going to start walking towards you, but just make sure that you follow him with your bow. Reason being, so see those phantoms that he summoned? So there's some up here that are walking towards us. If you don't kill them in enough time, those phantoms are going to get to you and start attacking you. However, once you kill the Grim Reaper, all of the phantoms are gone. If you kill the phantoms without killing the Grim Reaper, the phantoms will respawn. So the way to get rid of the phantoms is to get rid of the Grim Reaper. And the Grim Reaper always drops a Moonshade Stone shard. So it'll either be a shard or, if you're lucky, a chunk. So Moonshade Stone is what we're going to need to upgrade our Crescent Falchion. So that's actually very important to us. And so we got some full moon grass up in here. I just went to stockpile Thomas. I wonder why I'm already like overburdened. Oh, because you can only have a maximum of 25 of this item here. Okay, interesting. I guess the remake caps you. So we just stepped on this switch behind the altar, which opens this door. And that is actually the path forward for the rest of the level. But first, we're going to get some items, some more Moonshade Stone shards. So for those of you who are familiar with the original game, that used to be called Dark Moonstone. And Dark Moonstone is much easier to say than Moonshade Stone. I don't know, Moonshade Stone. I don't know why they changed it. It's so much harder to say that. But anyway, so one thing I want to point out to you guys, and I will demonstrate right now, is this is probably, at least at this point in the game, this is the best area in the game right now to farm souls. And I'll show you exactly why. Because if you remember, if we killed that, when we killed that Grim Reaper, it also killed all of the phantoms that were summoned. And so once all those phantoms that were summoned died, we get souls from each of those phantoms. And so we got like 4,500 souls just for killing the Grim Reaper. And so we just got a kunai. What those are is it's like the throwing knives, but it has a poison effect. So what you can do is, if you kill the Grim Reaper, I always recommend getting the Moonshade Stone, Moonshade, whatever it's called, from him. The Dark Moonstone is what I'd like to call it, but I need to start using the remake terminology. So you get that from him, and actually what you do is you can actually just run back up here. And then I just recommend suiciding off the edge because it's quicker than going back to the Archstone and warping back to the Nexus and then back here to respawn the enemies, because suiciding will also respawn the enemies. So you'll start right back here at the Archstone. You can run up, pick up your Bloodstain, get your souls back, and then literally do the same exact thing that we just did. Pull out your bow, stand right here, fire on him in rapid succession. You'll see that Phantom was getting close towards us, but we got him just in time. And you see we got 4,592 souls for doing that. And it's so easy just to repeat that loop as many times as you need to. So it's a good spot maybe if you need to farm some levels, or if there's a item that you're looking to buy or weapon that you're looking to buy and you just need some souls. That's a good loop to do it. So what we're going to do now is go to this side. And there is some stuff over here as well. Unknown Warrior Soul. And you'll see this. It's kind of like, this wall looks like a little warped. It's like wavy. It's because it's an illusory wall. We're going to go through that in just a second. And up here, you'll notice there's a switch for a trap. So activate the switch, run back. And then Stone of Ephemeral Eyes. So you'll see that this path does not connect. So if you move forward, you're just going to drop down. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go forward, or go down the stairs again, and go through this illusory wall. Now, on the other side of this little doorway here is a dual katana wielding black skeleton. And since now we're in 4-2 instead of 4-1, even though it's technically the same enemy, it's actually going to be a little bit stronger than it was in the previous level. So go through, lock on. He's probably going to do his lunge attack, get the backstab. And you'll see we're not doing quite as much damage to him. But, you know, you technically don't need to fight him. You can just run down this path if you don't want to bother fighting him. But I'll fight him just because. This skeleton is actually one of, if not the only enemy in the game that, oh geez, that drops a pure blade stone. And so blade stone is an ore that, you know, oh, did he one-shot me? Oh my gosh. Yes, he did one-shot me. He is the only enemy, one of the only enemies, if not the only enemy in the game to drop a pure blade stone. So blade stone is one of the many different ores in this game that you know you can use to upgrade some of your weapons with. And a pure blade stone is the one that will give you the highest tier of that category of weapon. And the drop rate for that pure blade stone, I want to say, is like 0.5%. And that's even if you're in like pure black world tendency where your ore drop rates are higher. So even if you're in pure black world tendency and you're farming that guy for a pure blade stone, I think it's like 0.5% to maybe 1% drop rate. And so you're going to be farming that guy for a while if you want that pure blade stone. And actually, in the PS3 version of the game, there is, if you wanted to get all of the achievements, there was an achievement for every single type of upgrade path. So I think there's like 12 or 14 different types of ores, and you had to get like the max weapon in each of those categories in order to get you each of those trophies. And so that meant you had to farm a pure blade stone off that guy. And I mean, it takes literally hours to do. So fortunately, in this game, those achievements do not exist. So it's much easier to get all of the achievements. So I'm going to bait this guy, do my backstab, and instead of attacking him, I'm going to go get my souls back. All right. And you'll see I had my shield up, and that attack is so powerful that it drained all of my stamina, and oh my gosh, and it one-shot me. So that's how powerful this guy is. And you saw those storm beasts over there were shooting at me as well. I'm going to give him one more shot. Normally, this guy does not cause so much trouble. I think it's because it's like 3:30 in the morning right now, and I'm talking while I'm doing it. So next time, I'm going to just concentrate and not talk so much. But anyway, moral of the story: pure blade stone. That's where you get it. You have to farm that guy. Do it later in the game where you're more powerful and he doesn't take quite as many hits to kill. And do it in pure black world tendency because your drop rate for ores is going to be higher if you want that pure blade stone. So, third time's a charm. Yeah, I was actually hoping to record 2 episodes tonight, but with the mishap of losing my first recording, that just is not going to happen, unfortunately. All right. Top off my health. And I'm going to shut up and just fight this guy. And if he kills me again, I'm just going to avoid him next time. All right, get my souls back. Ooh, come on. Oh my gosh. That's embarrassing. Well, I've seen better days. Actually, in my first recording, I killed him in the first try, so I'm kind of mad right now, but oh well. Oh, geez. Still got him in enough time. Okay, good. Oh, see, I got a chunk. Okay. So that makes it all worth it. The chunks are fairly rare. Is that my blood stain? No. There it is. All right. I'm going to try one more time. Just because I'm stubborn. Oh, jeez. And I do want to get that item over there, too. Oh, no backstab. If I could kick him off the edge, that would be awesome. What you gonna do? Storm Beast firing at me, as if fighting this guy wasn't enough. All right. One more hit. There we go. Follow it up. And he is gone. Okay, whew, that is a load off my shoulders. I don't like it when I have to leave enemies behind. So he gave me a Bladestone chunk. So Bladestone chunks are still pretty good. It's not the pure Bladestone, but if I had gotten a pure Bladestone from killing him, oh man, that would have been awesome, but not likely to happen. All right, there's going to be a crystal lizard up here. There he is. And he noticed me. Dang it. Oh, I thought I would be far enough away. All right, see if I can stun him here. Oh, he's got a lot of health. Don't go over the edge, dang it. No, do not go over the edge. And I almost fell over the edge there, but whew, I made it. Okay, cool. Got him. And some Moonshade Stone chunk. Nice. Good stuff. Alrighty. And so over here is one final item. The white arrow and white bow. So this is actually the very beginning of 4-2. So we just looped all the way around. And we have, I mean, just, you know, so speaking of using this as a grinding loop, that's more or less what I just did because I kept on dying to that black skeleton. So look at the number, look at the amount of souls I have. I mean, that is just unreal. And let's take a look at that bow we just got. So we just got the white bow, and it requires 30 strength and 24 dexterity, which is way out of our league. The thing about the white bow is that it has the best range of any bow in the game. So you'll be able to shoot further away targets with it, but of course it requires some pretty steep stats. So I'm going to go ahead and throw it into storage. Okay, cool. There's one more thing down here that I want to show you. As I said, we're not going to go through to the whole level. I'm just kind of showing you everything there is to do basically in this first small spot. And there's one thing left to do. And that is, those of you who are familiar with the Souls series know all about patches.
Oh, the demons haven't got to you, have they? I'm in luck.
Wait, you see that pit? It's filled with treasure.
But I'm having a little trouble getting to it myself. Go on, have a look. They're more riches than I've ever dreamed of. That's it. That bit just there. Go on, get a little closer.
Okay. So that is Patches. He has the Adjudicator shield, and he's in just about every Souls game. He's in Bloodborne as well, and every single time you encounter him, he's next to a pit, and as soon as you look over the edge, he kicks you over. And that is Patches. That is him in every single Souls game.
Take your time starving to death. Then I'll sell every last trinket off your corpse.
Okay. So we fall down into this pit, and there's a couple items here. Some Crescent Moon Grass and Moonshade Stone Shard. And this is Saint Urbain.
Heavens. Did you fall for that little devil's trap? Well, I did the same. He fooled me, and now I am stuck here. The reverberations seem to suggest that we are connected to the outside. A fearsome dark phantom stands between us and freedom. But have no fear. God will cleanse us of evil. Pray with me. Umbasa.
Umbasa. Okay, so he is actually somebody who, once we save him, he's kind of held captive here by, that is a Black Phantom, and he can't leave until we kill that Phantom for him. So once we do that, we're actually going to find Saint Urbain back in the Nexus, and he's actually going to be able to teach us the more advanced miracles in the game. So we're going to be using him quite a bit once he gets back to the Nexus. So yeah, make sure you don't kill him. But anyway, so let's go ahead and take care of this Black Phantom. He's not too bad. He's wielding dual katanas, but he is nowhere near as difficult as the skeletons that we've been fighting. I mean, he's actually susceptible to bleed. So you'll see we actually did get the bleed status on him, and he's not terribly aggressive and not terribly smart either. Quite a bit easier than a lot of the other folks we fought, despite his dual wielding of katanas. So that's it. Wasn't too bad. And he drops Black Eye Stone, Moonshade Stone Chunk, and Stone of Ephemeral Eyes. That's a lot of stuff we got from him. So definitely worth the fight. Let's go back and talk to Saint Urbain. Let him know he's free.
It's you. Did you cleanse the world of the aforementioned phantom? God has chosen you. And for that we are thankful. Umbasa.
Okay. And so for rescuing him, you're actually going to get a trophy. As I said, I've already gotten the trophy since this is my second time through this recording. So you'll notice there's an item up there. Do not do what I did my first playthrough. I kind of bashed my head against the wall trying to figure out how the heck do I get that item. I even like tried dropping down this hole at different angles, trying to like land on top of this thing. What it is if you couldn't figure out, it is going to be a pure white world tendency event where once you reach pure white world tendency, this item is magically just going to be right here on the floor next to us, and we're going to be able to pick it up. But first, we have to have white world tendency to do that. So we're gonna have to come back here once we get that, and we'll be able to get that item. So I wasted probably like a half hour trying to get to that thing the first time I played this game. But anyway, so we're free now. We can go back up and visit Patches again. And as usual, he's going to beg us for his life. Should we let him keep it or should we not? That is the question.
You? Hey, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean what I said. Well, a man's got to make a living, right? Here, look, I can make up for it. There aren't many humans like us. We need to stick together. I know. Have this as a token of my friendship. Not bad, right?
So for all that, Patches gives us a gash resistance ring, which is something that we actually already have. So I'm just going to send this extra one to storage. So that's Patches. We're going to let him live because if you kill him, it will move your character tendency towards black, and that's not something that we want right now. At least if you're following this guide, and we're going to get every ring and whatnot. If you want to get all of the rings, you're going to not want to influence your world tendency towards black, or your character tendency rather towards black right now, and that will happen if you kill him. He's actually going to go back to the Nexus as well, and he's actually going to turn into a merchant, and we'll be able to, get some use out of him yet. So he's not totally worthless. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back up to the top. We are done in here for now. There's, just kind of some side quest stuff to do just right in this very first section of the level. In my opinion, 4-2 could be the hardest level in the game. And just in terms of it's very, there's a lot of like cliffs and ledges that you have to fight stuff on, and it's really easy to fall off. And there's just kind of like a lot of traps in this level. And so it's hard if you're going through it blind, but if you know what to expect, it's not quite as bad, but it is still rather challenging. So we're going to save that one for later. We're going to work back to the Nexus. And geez, we have a lot of souls to use because I kept on dying to that stupid skeleton. Anyway, where's the maiden? I got some leveling up to do. She down there? No. There's Patches.
Wow, I remember you. glad you're here. I found some really tasty trinkets. Well, we've long been acquainted, so I'll give you a good price, eh?
So he's got some good stuff for sale. Heavy arrows. You know, he sells some spice and grass at a decent price. So he also has some armor for sale, and he also sells the fragrant ring, which slowly restores MP over time. So the fragrant ring is basically the same thing as the regenerator ring, but instead of for HP, it's for MP. We're actually going to find one of these later in the game for free, so definitely not worth spending 60,000 souls over. So there's the maiden. She's all the way over there. Let's see. I'll upgrade my magic. I'm going to upgrade my faith because eventually I am going to want to get... There's some miracles that I'm going to learn that require 2 slots. So I'm going to go ahead and start preemptively upgrading my faith and my intelligence just to get kind of closer to having that second slot. I'll go ahead and get some more vitality out of the deal as well. That gets us up to soul level 35. That ain't bad at all. And we rescued Saint Urbain, so he is going to be over here. There's Saint Urbain, so let's talk to him.
Thanks to you, I was able to seek refuge in this Nexus. Now I stay here and pray, along with my disciples, for the heroes facing the demons. If you wish for benevolent protection in your fight against the demons, then bring me demon souls. I will cleanse them and create miracles with their power.
So, as I said, he can create advanced miracle spells using some of the demon souls that we have already acquired. So again, that is why I suggest not using those boss demon souls for souls, but rather to use miracles or to acquire miracles and spells. Especially if you are going for all achievements, there is an achievement for all miracles and there is an achievement for all spells. And in order to get those achievements, you are going to have to use your boss souls to get the miracles and the spells. And there are some bosses for which you need both a miracle and a spell, for example. So you're going to need 2 copies of the same boss soul, which means that you're going to need to go through the game for at least 2 or 3 different playthroughs, 2 or 3 different new game plus cycles to get all of the boss souls required to use for all of the miracles and all of the spells that might be required from it to get those trophies. So those 2 trophies are an example of trophies that will require multiple playthroughs. So right now he only gives us, that was because I did a tune instead of learn. So he can teach us regeneration, which requires the swollen demon's soul. And that gives us an HP regen effect. So I think that's the only one that he can teach us with the demon souls that we have right now, the boss souls that we have right now. But when we get through later in the game, he's going to be able to offer some more stuff to us. All right.
Yes, I certainly cannot.
In fact, the 4-2 boss is going to give us a soul that we're going to want to learn a miracle. That I want to learn a miracle from him for, and you'll see why. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to head back to 2-1 because we got a lot of Moonshade Stone Shard, and we're probably going to be able to take our Crescent Falchion up a couple levels, and that is just going to greatly increase the damage output of that weapon, and we're going to be doing some pretty stupid damage with it, so I look forward to that. So there's a Filthy Man. I'm actually going to... Let's see. I'm going to use a soul item. Let's see. I'll just use a Renowned Hero's soul. Because he sells the Hardstone Shard, and I think we're 1 short of being able to upgrade our Claymore to +3. So I'll take 1 of these. So let's take the elevator down to Blacksmith Ed. We'll be able to upgrade our Claymore to +3. which we haven't really even started using yet, but we are able to use it now because I did get to 20 strength. And Crescent Falchion, sweet. Let's take it to +2. And let's take it to +3. Oh, I don't have enough souls. Not for long. I'm going to get some souls because I want the +3. Let's see. I think this is the one that'll give me exactly 1,000. Yeah. So let's look at it right now. So right now it's at 79 and 91 with an A scaling in magic. So we get a +23 just because of our magic stats. So 79, 91 is what it's at right now. And it goes up to 90 and 100. So 79, 91. So we're getting an extra +11 to the physical attack aspect of it and an extra +9 to the magic. So I mean, just upgrading it to a plus from plus. So we were at +1 and now we're up. I mean, we're going to be doing so much more damage with this thing now. So it's good to have those shards and the chunks. So the chunks, I mean, I think we got 3 of the chunks from killing that Black Phantom where Patches kicked us off the edge. We got 3 chunks from that, I believe. And then, of course, you could just farm that Grim Reaper to get the shards for as many shards as you need. So we now have a +3 Crescent Falchion, which is, ooh, that's so good. Oops, I don't want to repair. Let's see, what does it take to get to +4? So we actually have enough chunks for +4. All we would need is 6 more shards to get it up to +4, and then that would take us up some pretty substantial damage with that. So can't do that quite yet, but I think a +3 should be more than good enough for us for now. And then when we finish 4-2, I'd imagine we'll probably have enough shards to take it up to +4. Okay, awesome. We got what we came here for. So let us go back to the Nexus. Okay, so I think that's going to do it for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for all of the feedback. I've really enjoyed interacting with you guys in the comments and whatnot. And I'm glad that this is helping so many of you guys get through this game. As I said, I'm using a different software to do my capture. I'm not sure as to what the quality is going to be like. So let me know if you've noticed a drop in quality, or even maybe, hopefully, even an improvement in quality in the different capture software that I'm using. I just want to make sure that my video quality is up to snuff. I mean, I don't want to just put out crappy videos, but at the same time, I know that so many of you guys are relying on these walkthroughs, so I don't want to stop doing them altogether either, just until I get this issue resolved. So this is a bit of a workaround for now, and hopefully it's good enough of a workaround for you guys. So I guess we'll carry on with this for the time being. I was hoping to record a second episode tonight, but since I had to re-record this one twice, I'm unfortunately only going to be able to do one, and so that's only be the only one that I'm going to be able to put out today, sadly. But starting again tomorrow night, I should be able to crank out some more videos now that I have a workable and reliable recording solution. So anyways, thank you guys for bearing with me. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate you guys' support. And don't forget to subscribe, leave a like and a comment to this video if you found any value in it whatsoever. Really appreciate you guys, and I hope to see you next time. So take care. Have a great day.